Welcome to another episode of Teen Talk New York. I'm Shaquasia, this is my co-host Barry, and today we're going to be talking about substance abuse, which is known as drug abuse. Last episode we was talking about teen pregnancy and social media and what teens go through in our lives. We have a few questions that people have asked us to talk about on the show that tuned in, and I'm going to ask Barry these questions. So, Barry, what age group do you think uses the most drugs?
Well, I feel around 15 to 21, just hanging around the wrong crowd, the wrong set of people that's not benefiting themselves well. It's just too much
Think
for
it's a
them.
bad influence on people?
Yeah, very bad influence. I mean, it's the people around you. It's people like who you hang with, and you can always be that leader and just say, nah, man, this is not for me. But when you're around your friends and you feel hype and you feel good and you comfortable with your mans, I know y'all know what I'm talking about out there. You just in the vibe. You know, it's pure pressure. It's pure pressure. You don't want to say no because they're gonna look at you funny. But be a leader. Stand up for yourself. Say no.
Okay. Do you think that parents are sometimes the reason why kids do drugs, because their parent might have done drugs and been addicted to drugs? Do you think that they are the reason why their children would grow up and do drugs?
I mean, it's 50-50 love on both parts. The kids, they have a mind frame of their own. Everybody have a brain of their own.
Yeah.
But the kids, they're gonna look up to their parents because that's like their mentor.
Yeah.
So they're gonna go for them like a source, reliable situations. But if the parents see the parents doing it, like, oh well, I should smoke, I should drink. No, kids, stay in school. Keep the drugs alone.
So you think when these teens or these adults do drugs, it makes them do crazy things that you wouldn't think they would normally do when they're not on
definitely.
drugs?
Oh, definitely for the rookies out there that think they can smoke whatever they want, don't know what you're smoking, don't know what you're drinking. Just stay with yourself, or if you don't know how your brain is set up mentally or physically or emotionally, don't try the drugs. Don't drink alcohol. Leave it alone. If you don't know what the causes and the effects of the drugs are, just play basketball. Listen to music, hang out with your friends,
Do a
hobby, study, read, go to the library, eat, do something, but just educate yourself. Knowledge is everything. And then when you smoke, another effect of smoking is destroying brain cells, kids.
Yeah, you lose your brain cells. So thank you, Barry. When we come back,
we
will have a guest star. We have a guest star, which is one of the teachers from Research and Service, which is a school we go to. So she will come here, and that will be our guest person for today.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we have pep talkers standing by to get you motivated for your GED diploma. Text the name Terry to 69222 for a sympathetic pep talk.
You show people what you really are.
Or for a gentle pep talk, text the name Deborah.
You know you're going to make people very proud of you.
And if that's not enough, text the name Danny for an extreme pep talk.
Prove everyone wrong. Show them you're the boss.
Get your GED pep talk and find free GED classes. Text the name of the person you want a pep talk from to 69222.
Welcome back to Teen Talk New York. This is Shaquasia, this is Barry, and this is our guest, Ms. Brown.
Research and Service.
Our teacher.
The best teacher?
Barry's going to ask us some questions about what we've discussed, which is substance abuse
And drug abuse.
Okay.
Ms. Brown, if you do drugs at a young age, do it mess up your life?
I think, okay, the answer I'm supposed to tell you is yes. It messes up your life. But it's not the drugs that mess up your life. It's that drugs makes you less disciplined. And I think at a young age, you don't really understand the whole action consequence thing. And even at an older age, you don't really understand it as much. So I think drugs kind of influences you to do things that you probably should not do. And then you form a habit. And once you get that habit, it's very hard to break that habit, right?
I agree with you. Another question. Do you think a mother or father using drugs will affect the child?
Oh, yeah. Think about it, right? if I was in class, right, I'm your teacher. So you're with me for what, 55 minutes a day, 8 hours a day. If I come into my class late every day, or if I'm not prepared every day, would you be prepared for class every day?
No.
No, right?
No.
I'm not taking it seriously. So if you're the person who I'm looking up to guide me in my way, and I don't even take it seriously, why would you take it seriously? So sometimes when the parents take drugs or use drugs in front of them, you know, it makes it okay to do it, even though they might say don't do it.
Okay. A few more questions before we let you go on. What advice can you give people that do drugs?
It depends on the drug, and it sounds crazy to say that, but it does, right? I think that it's socially accepted for people to drink and people to smoke cigarettes or weed, right? Rather than someone being a crackhead or a heroin addict, right? I think those things you need professional help. Your body gets addicted to it. It's very hard to crack that habit.
Right.
I think for liquor and weed, it all goes down to discipline. I don't think you should let anything, drug, anything get into the way of your dreams, okay? I'm real with the situation. A lot of people in Brooklyn smoke weed. A lot of it, it's very accessible. A lot of our students smoke weed, use them in our classrooms. My problem, what I always say to you guys, is that it should not get in or be a deterrent for what you need to do. If you have a goal, you need to get that goal. If there's something in your life that's not making you get that goal, you need to stop doing whatever it's not doing, get your goal, and do whatever you need to do. It's a balancing act. So I don't think you guys should do drugs at all. I really don't. But the reality of the situation is that half the school does drugs, you know?
Yeah.
So I tell you, whatever is, and a drug can even be eating. Is eating a drug? Sugar can be a drug, right? We get sugar high, we get addicted to it.
Right.
Exactly.
Caffeine.
Caffeine can be a drug.
Right.
And then the food, and you get addicted to it, that's what causes obesity.
Oh, a lot of people get depressed and eat.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of people. It's a drug. It's about being balanced with it and not letting it get in the way of what you need to do. You know what you want to do, and that's that. You know?
Last question. Do you think drugs make people do weird things?
Mm-hmm. Especially depending on the type of drug, right?
Yeah.
So I'm a science teacher, so biologically certain drugs changes the way you react to certain things. They're placed into certain categories, uppers, downers, and certain drugs really physically mess up how your nerves react with one another. All drugs make you do things I don't think you should do.
Right.
Liquor too. Oh, I got drunk last night. It was lit. I did this and I can't remember what I did. Yes, I got drunk. All right. Even when you eat a lot, think about it. My drug when I was young was food. Loved it. If I was angry, I'm eating. If I was sad, I'm eating. So again, it makes you do things that you know you really shouldn't be doing. I just gained 80 pounds in a year. You don't want to feel that way. With weed makes people lazy. It does. If you like something, you want to do what you like. Sit at home, smoke weed all day, ain't gonna pay no bills, and it's not gonna make you get your goals.
Right.
So I do think that drugs physically they physically influence you, and again, you just have to be responsible about it. Because at a certain age, you can do certain things, and soon probably weed's going to be legal here. And again, you have to be very responsible about it.
Definitely.
If you get somewhere you go, don't do it,
Definitely.
Yeah.
and be aware of what it does to your body. You know,
Right.
I'm an older person, so if someone gets drunk around me and says, "Oh, I was drunk when I did that," that's not an excuse at a certain age. You know how you are when you're drunk, so why are you getting drunk? If you can't handle liquor, don't drink. Other drugs like cocaine, heroin, those are hard drugs. I mean, you physically get addicted. No, I need to get a hit. You need to get a hit. No, thank you. No.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Brown.
Thank
Awesome,
you,
Ms.
guys.
Brown, Research and Services.
Thank you for having me. I'm so proud to see you guys like that. Oh my God. All right, when you get famous.
It's harder whenever there's a bigger group. much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
Welcome back to Teen Talk New York.
Brooklyn. I'm the
So-
co-host, Barry Reese.
I'm Shaquasia Brown, and we talked about drug abuse. My piece of advice for anyone that's doing drugs is don't let peer pressure get into you. Because if you let peer pressure get to you, that's not setting a good example for people in your family or anybody.
Yourself.
So I think you should be a leader and not do drugs at all. Because being a leader, that's what makes people look up to you and want to be a leader too. Anything else?
Yeah, don't do drugs. Like what my partner said, don't do drugs because it will mess you up mentally, physically, and spiritually. And then another example, people think that being under influence you could do better, like study high, get high grades. We heard that one before. I drive better when I'm drunk. No, not at all. It distracts you. It's like it's addictive. So don't do drugs. Stay away from it. Keep your eyes in the books. Distract yourself. Exercise. Play sports. Knowledge is everything. So stay away from the drugs because it is a substance abuse and is a stimulant. So stay away from it.
I'm glad you mentioned get high grades because I had an experience yesterday where my friend was like, he had took a test and got an 85 on it while he was high. And I said, so I think that if you wasn't high, you would have probably got 95. Because just because you're high don't mean that it makes you more focused. I believe that if you're not high, you do even more better, you focus better. That if you have any questions you want us to talk about, hit us up at info@youngproducers.tv.
And a special thanks to Ms. Brown, our science teacher, Research and Service High School, co-host Barry Reese.
Shaquasia Brown.
Stay tuned.